Hello everyone. Today we are starting with the new chapter software. See, last class we have discussed about the computer unit, right? Yes. What do you mean by computer unit or computer system? It's a combination of hardware and software. See, software chapter is a second chapter in your textbook. Why I am starting with the second chapter means last class we have discussed about the computer unit, that is a combination of hardware and software. This chapter is a continuation of software. So we'll start with the second chapter. Afterwards we'll move on to the first chapter. Okay. Now last class what I told you, hardware, it's a physical parts of the computers. What are the physical parts? Like input devices, output devices and storage devices, right? In the same way, what do you mean by software? Software is a collection of programs. We need software. Why do we need software? Means to run the computer hardware, we need software. Now we'll study in detail about the software and what are the types of softwares and how to use the software. Okay, now let us take an example. As human beings, if we feel tired of running or walking, what we'll do? We'll sit down. In the same way, if we feel hungry, we'll eat, right? Have you ever thought, how do we know what to do in these situations? Who is instructing us? It is our brain who is giving instructions how to act and react in this manner. In the same way, even our computer should get instructions from the user through softwares to work with our computer. Okay, listen. Computer is an electronic machine. It does not have any intelligence of its own. If you want to work with a computer, we have to give the instructions, then only we can work with the computer. How we are giving instructions? Through our software. Okay, see, for example, if you want to shut down the computer or restart, for any of these activities, we have to follow some of the instructions. Okay, the set of instructions together, we'll call it as programs. Okay, now software is nothing but it's a collection of programs that are stored and run on a computer hardware and enables us to work with the computer. Okay, now we'll see what are the types of softwares available. See, there are two types of softwares. One is system software and another one is application software. First we'll see about the system software, then we'll study about the application software. What do you mean by system software? So system software, it's a collection of programs which controls the overall operations and the internal working of the computer. Internal working means how the input devices are reading the data from the user, whether it is accepting the data properly or not, and the processing device, whether the CPU is processing the data properly or not. In the same way, whether the output device is displaying the output properly or not. See, in system software, there are three types. One is operating system, utility software, and the last one, language processor. Now in the first one is operating system. The operating system, why we need operating system means to operate a computer we need operating system. Let us take one example. An operating system, it works like a principal of the school. How means, see, the principal is responsible for various activities like supervising the teachers, workers, other staff members, and she is also responsible for scheduling our exam timetable, attending parents, visitors, etc. In the same way, our operating system, it also has various functions to operate the computer. We just imagine if principal is not there in the school, what happens? All the activities will be mismanaged. In the same way, if operating system is not there, we cannot work with the computer properly. So as when you switch on the computer, the first program loaded into your memory is operating system. Some of the examples of operating system are Windows, Linux, Unix, etc. Okay, now we'll see what are the functions of operating system. Okay, Now the next topic is functions of operating system, and these are the functions. The first one is device management, second is memory management, third one runs the software, processor management, file management and security. See, first one is device management. As I told, the operating system is responsible for the internal working of the computer, right? In the same way, how it manages means the operating system, it will controls all the input and output devices, whether the input devices is accepting the data properly and it is transferring the data into the processing devices, and whether the processor is a CPU here, whether the CPU is processing the data and that data is transferred to the output devices, and it will also check the output devices whether the output devices is displaying the output properly or not. Second one is memory management. Listen, for example, if you want to save your document in your computer, where will store in the memory unit. So what the operating system will do means the operating system will assign the space in the memory unit. See, for example, this is the memory unit. The operating system will assign some space for our data to be stored in the computer. Third one is runs the software. If you want to run any application software like Paint, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, so for that we need operating system. Without operating system we cannot use with any of the softwares. Next is processor management. Processor management is nothing but the CPU. How the CPU will process the data that will be controlled by the operating system. Next is files management. File management is nothing but, suppose if you want to save your data. Save data you can modify. How to modify? Either you can delete the data or copy the data or move from one place to another place. So what the operating system will do? It will keep track of all the details. Last one is security. See, the operating system will provide a security by means of passwords. Why do we need passwords for a computer? To prevent misuse of computer. These types of operating system. See, in operating system there are three types. The first one is single user, multi-user and multitasking. See, in single user operating system, it allows only one user can use the system at any given time. Usually the single user operating system, it is used in offices or homes. Next is multi-user. What do you mean by multi-user? See, single means one, right? Single means one. Multi means more than one. So in multi-user operating system, it allows multiple users on different computers. They can access the system at the same time. So what this multi-user operating system will do means, it will accept the request from all the users and respond to them simultaneously. Like example for multi-user is printer. See, in your computer lab, we are connecting all the computers to the single printer. That is an example for the multi-user. Next one is multitasking. As I told, multi-user means more than one user can access the system at the same time. Now multitasking means more than one work can be performed at a time. We call it as multitasking. How? See, in multitasking operating system, it allows the user to work with a multiple applications at the same time. Example is, you can enjoy listening to the music while writing a letter to your friend. Okay, this multitasking operating system, it will keep track of the program which you are in, and you can switch on to the other program without losing any information. Processor. Why do we need language processor means, see, listen, our computer is an electronic machine. The hardware is designed in such a way that it can handle the data only in digital form. Digital form means that is in the form of machine language. Okay. And even the computer has a microprocessor, that is nothing but CPU. Okay, so we call the CPU as microprocessor. See, this microprocessor consists of transistors. Okay, and these see, the transistor is composed of silicon. It's a good conductor of electricity. Since being an electronic device, it can understand only the two states, that is on state and the off state. We'll consider this on state as 1 and off state as 0. Since it consists of only 2 digits or 2 bits, so we call this as binary. So our computer will understand only the machine language, which consists of the codes 1 and 0. See, for example, let us take one example for that. An electric bulb. Say this is an electric bulb. When you switch on the power, what happens? The light is on. We'll consider this as on state. If you switch off the power, what happens? The light will not be shown, right? That one we'll consider as off state. Since the electric bulb understands only two states, that is on state and the off state. Similarly, even the computer will also understand only two states, that is off state and the on state. So the computer will understand only the binary codes, that is called as machine language. Usually the programmers uses high level language to write a code, but it is not recognized by the computer. So we need language processor. Why do we need language processor? Means it is used to convert the high level language. It is used to convert this high level language into the machine language. There are two types of language processor. See, our programmer uses a high level language. To write any codes, they will use high level language, but this language it is not recognized by the computer. So what we'll need means we will use language processor. What is the use of language processor? Means the language processor, it will converts or it will translates the high level language into the machine language. In language processor there are two types. One is interpreter and another one is compiler. Okay. So listen here, interpreter. What the interpreter will do? Interpreter is a language processor. It will convert this high level language. Let us take this as the source code. Okay. So this interpreter, it will convert this source code into the machine code line by line. So what the interpreter will do means it will convert all the instructions line by line. If any error is found, it will show the list of errors. Until the errors is rectified, it will not proceed further. Okay. And second one is compiler. Compiler is also a language processor. It will translate this high level language into the machine code in a single go.